So do you feel like these are unfair questions of somebody within a department of that size and scope?
I
Do you feel that
you have a particular thing you really want to talk about and you're asking me other questions, but I don't think it's unfair to ask me about the audit. It's absolutely the case that the United States military should be able to pass an audit, and we've got to be on that pathway to get there.
But don't you think that that does speak to the larger point that we're trying to get at, which is good journalism uncovers corruption? And
okay, I mean, good journalism does uncover corruption, but I'm not sure these two things are linked. An audit is not.
But they are.
Okay, so you need to explain to me, do you understand what an audit does and the degree to which it is linked to the question that you're asking?
Yeah, John Stewart, do you know what an audit even does, you stupid motherfucker?
You remember Jamie Foxx was in the hospital, right?
Yes. Where is this going?
So Jamie Foxx shot his comedy special this week. And in the middle of his comedy special, he said, I am the one who called the FBI on Diddy because he poisoned me. That's the reason I went to the hospital. That's the reason why he almost died, is because Diddy poisoned Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx brought down Diddy.
Oh. What is happening right now?
This is just come out, and it's not fully out because these are just people who are at the stand-up show.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact. But by the time this drops, this is going to be in the stratosphere. It's going to be in the ether by the time this drops. You can probably look it up right now. He used to poison people, bro. I've been poisoned 3 times. Why am I testing positive for cyanide? You feel me? Why do I had pneumonia 3 times? You get called to testify. If you on camera and some of this footage, and you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, it's ways in this industry people go about doing things.
Man, this is why I don't go to the clubs.
Believe so.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your explanation.
I don't mind learning. So what I would suggest is that the audit that they have in the military doesn't really look at whether or not there's efficacy. It's just whether they got delivered the thing that they ordered. And
that is any audit. That is any audit. That is true.
But generally, those audits aren't $400 billion for Raytheon and $1.7 trillion for a plane that doesn't seem to be doing. Like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose these.
Please educate me on
sure. So an audit is exactly what you just described, which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DoD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what
now it's a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where.
So I gave you $850 billion. What did you do with it? I don't really have an accurate inventory to tell you where I don't.
That's why.
It is tough love time for the Democratic Party. I think it needs to be stripped down and rebuilt. I think that means a change in leadership. I want to know who thought it was a good idea that Joe Biden stand for another 4 years at 80 years of age and 37% popularity. So then that saddled the party with a British-like short campaign season for them. I think it's insulting when members of the working class, which the Democratic Party has lost entirely in our lifetimes, to insist the economy is doing great. A 12-pack of Bounty is $40. Rich folks don't feel that. Poor folks already switched to Sparkle during the COVID, during the lockdown. And I think telling them that the NASDAQ is gangbusters is further insulting. It's insulting. I think the biggest unforced error of the Biden administration by far was the border. To tell people it's not a problem is insulting. For the working class to see incoming migrants getting welcome bags, debit cards, and motel rooms is probably insulting as well. So there's a lot of work to do.
My daughter's 4 years old. that is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So, in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument to
I'm pretty
make
sure
that
I didn't cause it.
an $850 billion budget to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went, like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. And especially when they see food insecurity on military bases, and they see...
You want to talk about that? Because that's a good... we should be talking... I mean,
Well,
I'm trying to understand where you're trying to go, other than the dollars, which really bother you.
I think it doesn't really bother me. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
I think
tell
when
me that story. Tell me how you're thinking about that.
When I see a State Department get a certain amount of money and a military budget be 10 times that, and I see a struggle within government to get people like more basic services, and then that...
So you had Cenk here who says on November 29th, 2024, so 4 days ago, I've been trying to figure out why I'm more optimistic now than I was before the election, even though I was so against the guy who won. He's optimistic now. I know now, MAGA is not my mortal enemy, and neither is the extreme left. My mortal enemy is the establishment, and they have been defeated. We defeated the establishment, and we got MAGA in there. I'm optimistic as hell. Oh, man, am I optimistic as hell. Good gracious. Goodness gracious. Finally, somebody got in there that was...
department that got that. I mean, we got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's fucking corruption. I'm sorry. And if that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking, and that it's not looking at the day-to-day reality of the people that you call the greatest.
What'd you do with $850 billion?
I get back.
What did you do with $850 billion? You didn't take it, then why you covered up for it?
The reaction to these questions.
You're something with you're the deputy secretary.
That's just weird to me.
Okay. On food insecurity, major...
All right, so we took the $850 billion, and we can't say exactly where it went. Look, we bought some missiles and bombs and shit, and we fucking, fought a damn war, and old fucking Jimmy Bastard stole $100,000 billion. Well, I mean, oops, I didn't mean to say that second part. Can you scuttle that second part out? We bought the missiles and the bombs for the war, the Syria, the military base. We're building more military, but we got the nukes. We got more F-35s. We're just,
priority for us. A lot of funds are going toward that. The biggest issues we have found, first of all, we have significantly increased funding on food insecurity. And we do think we are getting much better on that. We believe some of the challenges we face are not what you often think of as, food insecurity as hunger. They're really around, do we have food available, for instance, as people come on and off shifts? Mm-hmm. Is it healthy food? Those are the types of food insecurity issues we are seeing in and around our military installations. We have increased pay 2 times in a row here. We've done 4.6% pay raise last year. We've asked for a 5.2% pay raise this year. We've also increased basic allowances and increased housing and pay and other allowances. So overall, we definitely think we need to increase the spending that we are putting forward toward our service members and their families. We're putting our money where our mouth is. Another big area is childcare. Spending a lot more money on childcare. That includes both childcare facilities, and it includes benefit that allows folks to go out on the economy to get childcare and have that subsidized by the government. Those are all examples of ways we're trying to put money.
Look at the rhetoric on this. Jon Stewart nukes Pentagon official on failed audit by breaking points. He nukes.
Well,
He
I'm not
nukes
exactly
them.
sure why establishment hacks continue to let
That seems to be a little dangerous rhetoric there. If we get used to people just saying, "Oh man, you got nuked. You got nuked," and if that's just a common parlance, that really takes away from Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the only two places in the world that's ever actually been nuked. You don't want people to become desensitized to actual major crimes.
The Deputy Secretary is cloaked in immense power. They're responsible for the day-to-day operations of the building, where the Secretary is focused on policy and the priorities of the President.
All right,
Their power
Sagar,
extends
shut up.